Hey, what's up you guys? My name is Vivian from ThePaperLetterBlog and you're watching another snail mail pen pal video. In today's video we're going to make a large paper pouch or large accordion folder, and that should be fun. So what I'm going to use this large accordion folder for is for a self-care swap. My idea is to basically, I have a lot of goodies for this swap. I will do a separate video on that. I think that will be really fun. But I also wanted to make some sort of like a paper pouch filled with self-care related paper. What I mean is, what I want to include is, for example, coloring book pages and writing paper and all that kind of stuff that will make you happy when you're having a bad day. So that's why I wanted to include that in that swap. Like I said, I also have a ton of other goodies, which I will show you in the other video. But first let me try out the tea. Oh yeah, this one. I was so excited to try this ever since I received it. It's a white blueberry and acai tea, and I got it from Faith, and I love this bag. I think I might actually try and save it. Like, I've been trying to save a lot of things for journaling, which I still haven't started, but this is one of those things I would definitely put in there. So, thank you Faith for sending me that tea. So, if you've been following me for a longer time, you may remember a long time ago when I did that accordion folder video. That video is actually one of the most recreated projects I've ever done. I was definitely not the first person to make that. It's not my original idea, but after that a lot of people got inspired to make an accordion folder themselves, which is really cool. So I thought I would today make a big version of that on camera as well, because, you know, can you ever have an accordion folder big enough? I don't think so. So for today's video I'm again going to use like recycled thrifted paper, and you could also of course use normal paper that you buy in a store. But I really like using this because this is paper that I would otherwise never use, and in a project like this it actually looks really cool. So what I have in front of me is actually my largest vintage book. This one I bought for €3.50, which is actually pretty expensive for a thrifted book, but it's still a pretty reasonable price. And I obviously bought it for these illustrations, which are very pretty. I never buy those photo books, I only want the illustrated ones. But all books, no matter which book you pick, all books are going to have those. This, by the way, I don't think this was meant to be in my book, but this is like a little book page, I think from a different book. Look how beautiful that is. But all books will have those pages at the beginning and pages at the end of the book with just text. So this one, for example, is just text. So these I would normally throw away, and that is why they are perfect for using for an accordion folder. So the first thing you're going to do is collect pages that you want to use for this project. They have to be the same size, otherwise it's going to be very messy. It doesn't matter which size they are as long as they're all the same size. Let me see. Now we also need some pages from the back, I guess. I don't know how many pouches I want to make. I think 3. I'm going to make a small one, or 4. I will do 4. So I need 4 papers. And I'll be talking you through the process, and I will also do a voiceover with a speeded up version. So you don't have to listen to me the whole time. I mean, you're still going to listen to me, but it'll be faster. Okay, and for the people who think that I'm completely ruining this book, I know. But if I didn't do it, someone else would have done it, and there was also a big chance that these books are going to get thrown away because no one wants them anymore. We've got the internet. So for my project I'm going to use these 4 large papers. Let me quickly check what size they are. Like I said, it doesn't really matter, you don't have to work with sizes, but it is nice to know. So these pages are, let me see, nearly 12 inches by 9 inches, around 9 inches. That's pretty long. I'm just going to trim the side to make sure everything is even and pretty. I'm just going to trim that 9 inches, I guess. But like I said, it doesn't really matter. And now with pages this large, there are 2 things I could do. Oh, I love it when everything cuts off at once. Where's my paper bin? There we go. With pages this large, there are 2 things you could do. I am going to fold them in half so that you have a pocket this big. What you could also do, and what is even cooler, is you could turn 2 pages into 1 pocket. So instead of folding them in half, you're going to leave them like that and then glue them together. So then you have a huge pocket, which will be big enough for A4 sized paper. That is also possible, but for this video I'm going to do it a little bit smaller because otherwise I'm afraid it won't fit in my swap anymore. Also, hello Noose, little Noose just joined me on the chair. I might include a clip of that somewhere in this video. It's always so cute when she joins me. So I will quickly take you through this process again, just in case you did not see the previous video. It's super simple. When you're using a folded page, you're simply going to fold it. And then you're going to glue down, you're going to glue these 2 sides so that it turns into a little pocket. If you're going to use 2 pages that you're not going to fold, you're of course going to put glue on 3 sides and gluing them together, and then you just need 1 side to open to put your goodies in. Otherwise you just have 2 glued together pages. Trust me, I have done that before. So I'm using a wet crafts glue that I got from Action, but you can use any type of glue, I think, as long as, you know, it's not too wet for your paper. You can also use tape or a glue stick, I don't know. The only thing is the wet glue takes a while to dry. So I put a lot of heavy stuff on top of it so that it wouldn't open again. But yeah, that's basically it. Easy, right? And then you have your pockets. Okay, while our pockets are drying, we're going to pick out a paper for the outside. What you need for this is it needs to be 2 times as high as your pockets, and then you need a little bit extra for like the flap. I will show you and then you will know what I mean. So mine is nearly 6 inches high. It's going to be a challenge, but I think we will manage, and if not, I can always trim a little bit off the top if I don't have enough space. So we should be okay. Now the receiver of my swap likes vintage stuff, which is good because I use vintage paper, and I also want to incorporate a little bit of that green that is in the pockets. So I thought I might be able to find some pretty Maggie Holmes paper because she does really pretty things in a vintage style. So let's see. We can use one of the green ones. Ah, that always happens. Ow. Oh, I can do that one. That should be pretty. I'm gonna go with this one. So crafting something is not a requirement for this swap. I should know because I created the swap. It's just for Dutch swappers, so don't feel like you're missing out. I only do swaps in the Dutch swapper group nowadays. So, but crafty element is not really a part of this swap, but I just wanted to make something extra special because the person that I'm sending this swap to sent me something special in the past. And I remember that. She sent me a beautiful pouch, which I for a very long time used to store my washi tapes. What am I saying? My wax seal supplies in. So I thought I would make her something special now. Kind of a way to thank her. This pocket is exactly 9 inches, so we're going to make it a little bit wider. I'm thinking 9.5 should be okay, but you can make it as wide or as narrow as you like. So I'm going 9.5 so that we have a little bit of space next to the pockets. Okay, this is the inside. As you can see, that fits nicely. A little bit of space. And now the next thing is we're gonna have to see how much space we have left, which is not a lot. Okay, I already know I'm going to have too little space, so I'm going to trim a little piece off the top. instead of 6 inches, I'm going to make it 5.5. So I'm going to trim 1/2 inch off of the top of all of them. Now I'm going to determine where I need to fold my cover. Okay, so I created my first fold line. Basically what I did is I just looked how much space my pocket would need, and then I folded it there. But I want to do for this one, first of all, because it's going to be very tight, but I also want to give the pockets a little bit extra space. So I'm going to create a second fold line. Okay, so we've got the first fold line there, and then we're going to make the second fold line just 1/4 of an inch apart from the other one. And what this does, I will show you, what this does is it creates a little bit of space in between the cover. Look, wait, I will show you. Look. So instead of having it completely flat, we now have this tiny bit of space for the pockets. You can make this as big or as small as you like. If you're going to add a lot more pockets, I suggest making this a little bit wider, just because you know, you can give the pockets a little bit more space. So this will basically be the bottom of our project. Now, when I'm folding this, I'm realizing that even though I trimmed a part off of the pockets, I still have not enough space to make the flap. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to, I don't know, use this or use a different paper. I'm going to use a different paper. I'm going to use a different paper to create some kind of an extended flap instead. Tape. I just need to wait for it to dry, because I also use a little bit of glue because washi tape is not strong enough. So we're just going to wait for that to dry, but in the meantime our pockets should be dry, I think. Yeah, I think our pockets are dry, so now we have pockets, yay! So all we did so far is glue down these two sides, and now we're going to glue the pockets to each other to make like the little accordion part. So first we're going to make sure they're all facing the same way. So we want all of the openings facing upwards, because it would be kind of a disaster if you glue one down upside down. So all of them are facing upwards. This is going to be our accordion. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work with an upside down T shape. So we're making an upside down T. Very simple. You just put glue in the middle, put glue at the bottom, not the top, just the bottom, just the middle and the bottom. Middle, bottom, middle, bottom. Yes, I'm going to show you. And then we're gonna let that dry again. So while in the background you can see me create, I will do a little voiceover. First of all, hey guys, how are you? I hope you're enjoying this video so far. If you do, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you like. If you have Instagram, I always love seeing your recreated projects. You can use the hashtag ThePaperLetterBlog if you made something I showed. Now, what I'm doing in the background is I'm cutting out coloring book pages, and I also have that book that I got from Louisa that has coloring book bookmarks. So that's why I cut one of the pages in half, because it's a bookmark. And now I'm just picking out a lot of paper. So this is all writing paper, because to me writing is also self-care. So I've got coloring book pages and then writing pages, and then I'm also going to pick journaling papers. And what was the last one? I made this like last week, I don't even remember. Oh yeah, project life cards.
So, to be honest, I'm actually quite annoyed editing this video for multiple reasons. First of all, it's super hot here in the Netherlands. We're currently having a heat wave, which means that it'll be like 36 degrees out today, which is so hot. And I don't do well with heat. I always complain a lot, so... So that's my first reason to be annoyed. Second reason to be annoyed is that I already edited this video. I didn't come this far, but you know, I made it quite far with the editing. I'm not going to explain what I did, but that was nose jumping on the chair if you heard that thud. That is something that does make me happy. But okay, I made it quite far into editing and then my program crashed, so I had to do this again. And last but not least, like I said, I made this for a swap. I kind of went all out, like I put in a lot of effort, and then my rating was really meh. Like the only thing she said was thank you for the goodies, and then she gave me a rating of a 5, and the maximum is 5 and a heart. I kind of feel like I deserve that. And that may be a little bit weird to say about myself, but you give a heart when someone puts in a lot of extra effort, and I kind of feel like I did put in a lot of effort, so it's a little bit saddening. Like I did way more than what was required for this swap, so it's always a little bit sad when someone doesn't acknowledge that. Like, it's not like I want a pat on the back or something, but it's just, I don't know. It made me a little bit sad. Like, do you even realize how much time I put into this swap? I don't think she did.
And voila! The first part of our accordion folder is completed. Like I said, as you can see, I glued my outer pockets all the way to the back of the paper, but you can do the same as I did with the other pockets, which is the upside down T shape, and then the outer pockets will also be a little bit easier to open. But I don't think I need that much space. I think I can put a lot of flat goodies in here, so that should be good. Look how big it is. This is going to hold so many little presents. And what I also love about this project is that it could be very easily reused for something else. Like she could use this as a little letter writing paper pouch, or you know, sticker pouch or something like that. So I think that's a really, really fun thing as well. This was part 1, which was the assembling, and now we're going over to part 2, which is filling up and decorating. Really long time ago I bought these mini magnets at Sostrene Grene, and I think these will come in handy for the opening and closing of this little project. But I also bought this magnetic tape at Craft Stash, and I think I want to combine them because this might be a little bit easier to use. It even has, I think it has like a tape on the back. Oh, I didn't even realize. Yeah, it has tape on the back. So I think I'll use a piece of this in combination with a little smaller one, because these are a little bit thicker than the tape.
Okay, but onto happier topics. If you're still here, thank you so much for supporting my channel. And if you're still here, let me know by leaving a comment down below telling me what you would use this paper pouch for. I would totally use it for storing different goodies that I want to send to my pen pals, or for making a little on-the-go letter writing pouch. Now I'm using some of my special alpha stickers. I love alphabet stickers. These are some of my favorite ones. They're rose gold, and I think they belong to a certain Maggie Holmes collection as well, but I don't really care. They look pretty on everything, and I just wrote paper, but then I realized I accidentally switched the capital and the smaller P around, but you can barely tell the difference. And I'm gonna decorate, and in that that's actually a grape box, like it used to hold grapes, but I kind of save everything. My boyfriend calls me a hoarder. I save everything for storing craft supplies, so that actually holds all of my Maggie Holmes Bloom and Confetti die cuts, because Maggie Holmes, I say her name a lot, and if you don't know who she is, I'm very sorry, but she's basically a designer who makes very pretty things, such as that paper that I used and those die cuts that I'm using now. And she has 2 main styles. One of them is a little bit darker, such as Flourish, the Flourish collection, and the other one is a little bit lighter, so I separated the darker and the lighter die cuts. And I got them from Craftelier, AliExpress. Yep, they actually copied some of her items, and I got digital cut files from AC Digital. So basically you pay for the digital files and then you can print them out as much as you like. So obviously I printed them out a lot and then I cut them by hand, which is a little bit annoying, but in the end you have a lot of die cuts, which is good. And now I'm just trying to see if everything fits. In the end I put way too many goodies in there. So it's a little bit fatter than I anticipated, but if you keep it, if you don't put in that much, then it should be better. And also what you saw me make in between is, I didn't do that with the previous one, but I made like little pocket tabs where I wrote what each pocket is holding. So one of them says Project Life, the other one says journaling and letter writing and coloring in. So that if she opens this folder, she can immediately see what is in the pockets without, you know, just thinking everything is very random, because there is like a lot of thought behind this. And that is actually the end. And if I can put some more ideas into your brain, this would also be a really fun project to make, to send supplies to someone who's just getting into pen paling. I, for example, kind of infected one of my childhood friends. I sent her a postcard and she wrote back to me, and then I wrote back to her with all of my pen paling supplies, and she was immediately kind of addicted. Like, she also started buying pen pal supplies and she started writing letters to a lot of people. And like, obviously now she has paper and all of that, but if I could go back in time, I would definitely make her one of these folders and fill it up with a lot of paper, a lot of goodies, some envelopes, and all of those fun things for her to get really into pen paling or any other paper hobby, basically. So yeah, as you can probably tell, I was actually really pleased with how this turned out. You could obviously make a smaller version like I did in my previous video, but I also think a huge one like this is so much fun just for stuffing with goodies, and I hope you guys agree. So let me know again in a comment down below what you would use this for. Did you like this project, and are you going to make one yourself? And yeah, I hope you subscribe to my channel. I always say the same thing at the end of the video, but yeah, I think you guys know what I want to say. Thank you so much for your continued support. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, thank you. Know that I also really enjoy making these kind of things and sharing them with you. So that's my chit chat for now. I wish you all a very pleasant day, and I will see you very soon. Okay, bye bye.